there, savvy home buyers and sellers. This is Jeff O'Leary, the Village Guru. In this episode, I want to talk about the housing market and give you a simplified version of how prices go up in a market and what you can expect in the future. I'm sitting here at a blackboard, so it's not my usual studio, and that's why the lighting might be a little darker, but this is a great episode. You're not going to want to miss it, so let's go. The housing market, something everyone likes to talk about. And over the last few years, let's face it, housing has been going up at a really steady pace, and people are wondering, will this continue into the future? Now, there's a lot of people out there making predictions, whether on the news, no matter where you find it. But the bottom line is, what affects housing prices more than anything is supply and demand. Simply put, supply is the amount of homes available for sale. And as if you have more supply and less demand, it's going to cause houses to go down in price. At the same time, if you have more demand, more people wanting to buy those houses than homes available, it's going to cause prices to go up. So over the last 10 years in the GTA, we've had way more demand and not enough supply. And that's why you continuously see houses going up in price. I know people will talk a lot about interest rates and other things, but bottom line is there are only factors that affect supply and demand. But I'm going to go over a quick diagram showing you how simple it is to understand this concept. So think about a real estate market as a bucket. The bucket represents how big our market is. Now, when we pour in water, that is the demand in the market. So as we pour in more water, obviously the water level will rise. Now let's take a cork and put it right on the top of that water. And as we all know, corks float, and that represents the average housing price. So as we pour more water in, the water level will rise and the cork will float. Now, the only way to get the cork to go down is to either, one, make the bucket bigger, which in case the water level will go down, which is more supply, or we can have government intervention or something weird come in. And when governments intervene to slow the market down, what they literally do is they get a finger and they push the cork down underwater, okay? And the reason they do that is there's political pressure to do something about housing prices. And so they hold it there, and maybe for a few months, you have a slowdown in the market, prices start to go down. But the problem is if the demand is still there, and in fact, it keeps filling up, well, you can hold that cork down, but eventually you gotta let that cork go. It's gonna shoot right back up to the new level of water. And that's what we've seen happening over the last 10 years in the GTA real estate. So while politicians and people wanna say they have a fix for the real estate market, the bottom line is this. Always look at supply and demand. If they're not building enough homes for the amount of people moving into the area, then we're constantly going to have an upward pressure on prices. At the same time, if less people are moving in or they're leaving the GTA and the water level's going down, then you'll have a downward pressure on prices. So regardless of what you read or hear from friends and family, that's really the only factor that affects housing prices in the macro. Well, there you have it. I'm Jeff O'Leary talking about supply and demand and how it works in real estate. If you have any questions about real estate, always feel free to call or email me. Have yourself a great day.